Well, it looks like I found where the ants were coming in at. Why I didn't bother to check this first. Bad wires. Good morning, everyone. So I was deciding to get the RV cleaned up. You can see it's a mess back there, as well as right behind me towards the bedroom, all my stuff piled up. That's projects for the RV. Some of it is no good because I left paint in here and it froze. So I'll be going through stuff. But first, I wanted to, unfortunately, spray. I got a can of bug spray. I have a little bit of an ant problem, oddly enough, in here. Well, it looks like I found where the ants were coming in at. Looking at this mess here in my bay with the septic tank. Yeah, you can see the black ants right there. But it looks like they were chewing in right in here. And I have a feeling they might be carpenter ants, providing that right over here, where I was planning on building my garden bed, which I probably still will, and but that nice little sinkhole there, all right through here, was the log cabin school that burnt down back in like 2015, 2016, before I bought the property. And the previous homeowner didn't get any type of permits or nothing. He just buried it, pushed some debris down there, left it. You could already kind of see some overgrowth that I've been cutting back, some trees. Got a lot more to do, unfortunately. But for now, the RV, I guess I'll get underneath and spray around the tire well and everything as well, too, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so because I have some carpenter ants in the motorhome, and I don't need them to spread towards the house either, I'm going to be mixing up a borax and sugar mixture. So a good example of a good ratio is a 1 cup borax to 3 cups sugar. Surprisingly, that is still pliable. So I might be able to use that one still. That is rock hard, so that is trash. Paint. I'll have to check, see if any of this is still good. For now, I'll stick it out on the counter. Hopefully I could still use it. Well, it's officially going to be 4 years since the last time this RV has had a wash. So let's get started. So some of the products I'm going to be using is McGuire's, just automotive car wash. I use it on my Jeep. And I used to use it on this sucker all the time. Zoom out here so you can see she is filthy. Good evening, everybody. So it's getting a little late and I don't have much power. So the idea is I got a new plug. Show you why I went with this style instead of the big fat yellow ones that you see everywhere. All right, so you can see here, this is closed. Big door's closed. I got this thing here. Shove the cord through. It does not fit. This does. So that's why I'm going with this one. Well, I dropped my phone. Luckily it didn't break, but my microphone receiver broke. See it sitting there. So hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Got the new plug on, and it's just shoving it through the hole. This is going to be so much better. I prefer it going through this at campgrounds and stuff like that. That way I can keep this hatch closed. I don't have to worry about anything getting wet. You can see there's already a little bit of rust in there. So you're questioning now how I'm going to keep mice and stuff from crawling up in there. Well, easy solution. Steel wool. I just take a bundle of it, and shove it in there. And just like that, mice won't get in it now. So you can see all the mouse poo, but I found something already. If I could get this in here. This guy right here is loose. So we'll tighten that down and we'll see if that fixes the problem. All right, these are all nice and snug. Let's go out and see if there's anything else. Those look fine, but I will show you what I did find. Why I didn't bother to check this first. Bad wires. Looks like they got too hot, which was probably because of all the connections back here were loose. I didn't bother filming. I did manage to get my hands back in there further. All those connections were good. It's just those two back here were loose, which could have caused this. It could also been the lightning strike that struck the RV park that I was in at, because that's shortly after that is when I started having issues. Say it could have been a combination of both. It's hard to say, but either way, I got to get it fixed. So I got all the wires cleaned up as best as I can. I'm going to put these sleeves on. I got the ground bus bar cleaned up. Gonna put a oxidation preventer on there and get them plugged in. Do the same thing with all the ground wires as well. Get them cleaned up and put them on the bus bar that's right up there. And gotta find a way to reattach that because it's melted. So what I'll probably end up doing, some JB weld. I'll see if it works. But for now, let's get these shrink wrapped on there. Pull out the hairdryer, I guess. Heat gun. Whichever one I find first. I got to do the power wire here too because there's a small melted spot right up in here. So just want to protect that as well. Make sure I don't have any arcing or anything. Alright, it is hot. The hairdryer did not help one bit. But wires are recovered, so let all that cool down from using the hairdryer and I'll start putting everything back together. Alright, I got the wires rewrapped. I got the neutral bar sitting in there. It's got to dry. Unfortunately, it's got to dry for 4 to 6 hours. And so I'll probably just leave it here for tonight, and I will pick this back up tomorrow. All right, day 3. Everything's wrapped and ready to go. This guy is in there good and solid, so I'm ready to reconnect all the wires. I still have to wrap this one though, clean it up, probably cut it back some. So let's get the rest of these all set up and ready to go. Alright, that just leaves one left to clean up. Got the wire cleaned up. I'm gonna be snipping off the end though. And since it's braided and it was corroded, I'm gonna be putting some of the electrical grease on there before I wrap it. Alright, so now the next step is to plug it in and see if it works. Alright, as you can see, light above my head, I have power. Microwave's on. So everything is working great after that little bit of rewiring, fixing up. So I don't know if you could hear it or not, but it is starting to rain. So I am going to close up shop and call it a night. Well, I had the electric fixed for a little bit, a couple hours. It was starting to charge my batteries, and then the converter crapped out. So, had to order a new one. It said 8 to 6 weeks. Luckily, it arrived early. Let's turn some lights on. So there she is. That is the PM4 55 amp. My old one is a 50 amp, so I think that will be a great replacement. So let's get this sucker put in. There it is. The case was riveted on, so I had to take that off. Odds are this guy's bad, but it'd be better to replace from 1 stage to 3 stage anyways. Now, before I get too far in getting this sucker reinstalled, I want to vacuum it out. You can see there's plenty of droppings. And if I can come in deep enough, there's some snake skin. So let me get this cleaned up. There's not much space, so I'm not going to bother filming it. Get it sterilized with some bleach. New one is in. Now what I did was I put it on a piece of wood so it's up off the ground, because the fuse box looked like it might have gotten wet at some point in time as well from water leakage. Well, it's because the fridge is right above it. That's why I put it up off the ground a little bit. This way, if it fridge leaks or something from thawing, the converter will not get wet. Still have to plug it in, but I also have to finish connecting these lines here, which are back there. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to clean them up, get the corrosion off, and put some antioxidant on there so it has a nice clean connection. Alright, one done. So unfortunately the camera is in the way, and I guess I'll just cut back when I get that one done, and we're ready to plug the RV in and see if everything works. Everything is plugged in, tightened down, ready to go. So let's start flipping on breakers, see if we got power. First off, for the main, that one's for an AC. I'll just leave that one off. Let's try the microwave. Still good. Microwave has power. We'll go for auxiliary, and lastly, converter and lights. Green light on the converter. Spotlight is on, plugged into the RV outlet. It looks like we've got power. All right, let's test her out. If I can even see. $14.62. She's charging nicely. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you again on the next video.